Welcome to the Spitter Swallow Beer Review, Shag Dog. No Jammer because he's in Rome. And guess what? A new pope was elected or chosen by God. I don't know how they say it. Um, yeah, and Jammer happens to be there. So what's the chances of that, right? Jammer started planning this trip to Rome about a year and a half ago. Does his little saving thing with the tourist agency or whatever, however he does it. And once everybody gets together and they got enough money, they set their trip or whatever. And I could have went with them. One person had to back out of the trip, and Jammer offered me their ticket or whatever, and at a discounted price. And even though it was discounted, it was still a little bit too much for me to, at my life and my economic state right now, I just couldn't see putting that money there. I mean, it would have been a once in a lifetime chance, but at least for me, but I couldn't do it. So I'm missing out on being in Rome when the new pope was elected. I mean, I just can't imagine all the people there. I wonder if a lot of pilgrims went there or whatever. But Jammer is there, That Jammer once told me I get in situations that come out smelling like roses. Well, Jammer always smells like roses. He never gets himself in a situation. He just continually smells like roses. I mean, he's like Forrest Gump of the show. I mean, everything he does or stuff just happens, and they usually fall in his favor. And he's just lucky like that. But cheers to Jammer, my buddy, for being in Rome at the right time. Now all he has to do is get a beer review interview with the new pope. Yeah, just a drinking and thinking. Summerfest by Sierra Nevada. I already reviewed it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So just drinking and thinking. I started this video a little earlier and I messed up somehow. I hit go live and end, I guess, at the same time. And I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, imagine this Pope. Man, he's Pope Leo the 14th is the name he took. Pope Leo the first was a saint, I believe. So that's why there's so many Saint Leos that take the name, because he was a saint. Like Pope John Paul II. There's another Pope John Paul I. He became the second. They could do that. They get to choose their name. It's not like when you're born, you can't choose your name. But yeah, he's from Chicago originally. I thought with his real last name, I forget what it is, but I thought he might have been Polish. He's from the south part of Chicago. But I guess he was Italian. His one parent was Italian and something, and his other parent was something else. Wasn't Polish or anything. So I'm thinking, it could be mob. This is just a far outreach joke. It's not real. It's fiction. The mob could have got with him back when he started preparing to become a priest, back when he's a late teenager, right before he went to college or whatever. They say, hey, we need you to go to, maybe the ones that set it up. We need you to become the Pope. So we get more power in this town. Took him a long time to get there. 1977 all the way to now. But that's just a joke. That's not real. But that'd be a great premises for a movie, I think. Yeah. What else? Man, I had so much stuff to say when I first started this video. On the original video that I now deleted, that didn't happen. I can't remember all of it. Yeah. Pope Leo the 14th. And Jammer is there to witness it. Now, I don't know. They did go to the Vatican like 2 days ago, I think, from what I seen on his sister's post. I don't know if she took a picture of where they let the smoke out or anything like that, but let's see if I could see any of her pictures. I know she posted some pictures. All right. Mostly like, I don't know where they're at, museum or hanging out with the frescoes, pictures. I don't know where this place is. That's part of the Vatican. It looks pretty cool. Uh, this place has palm trees and stuff. That might be part of the Vatican. I don't know. There's this building. Not sure what it is. And then there's the inside of something. I'm not sure if that's not the Sistine Chapel. I don't know what that is. Because the Sistine Chapel has the murals on the ceiling, right? That might be something to do with the Vatican, because I think, you got that thing up there, and could be the Vatican. Yeah, it could be Vatican City and Museum. So they're in the city. That's Jammer's sister that took these pictures. So okay, yeah, cool. Now Jammer don't post anything on his Facebook, but that's okay. Yeah, so one half of the greatest beer review duel in the world is in the Vatican right now. So that's pretty cool. I wasn't even going to do a beer review today, but I figured, well, since Jammer's in Rome and the Vatican during this historical time, I might as well do a drinking and thinking. I can't believe the AC kicked on. You're probably hearing that very well. It's loud, isn't it? Oh, well. What can you do, right? I got some great jokes for Jammer because he's on a European vacation. He went to London, Paris, and now Rome is his final destination. I'm not sure if today's their last day, if they're coming back today or. Um, wow. Uh, okay. So I don't know when he's coming back. Actually, he hasn't messaged me in a couple days. Wait, when was the last time Jammer messaged me? I like to message him a lot. He usually doesn't respond. He gave me a thumbs up one time. Oh yeah, I was telling about my arthritis in my hand yesterday. He told me what to take, and then I said something. He gave me a thumbs up. That was it. Yeah, so that was Thursday at 1:06 a.m. Was that? Oh, yeah, that was Thursday morning, 1:06 a.m. Okay. Of course, 5.5 hours ahead in Rome, so it was probably 6 o'clock. He's an early bird. Anyhow, yeah, I wanted to talk about Jammer's European vacation. Kind of compare it to, you know, National Lampoon's vacation. And here we go with some jokes for Jammer about his European vacation when he was in London. Why did Jammer get lost in London? He couldn't bear the accents. That doesn't really make sense. But anyhow, next one. What did Jammer say when he visited Buckingham Palace? I've seen bigger places at beer festivals. Yeah. All right, when he went to Paris, why did Jammer bring a ladder to the Eiffel Tower? He wanted to take his beer game to new heights. What did Jammer say when he saw the Mona Lisa? I probably should fix my hair, huh? What did Jammer say when he saw the Mona Lisa? She looks like she's had one too many. sours. And then when Jammer got to Rome, why did Jammer get kicked out of the Colosseum? He kept yelling, "Gladiators, beer pong, let's go!" And then what did Jammer say when he saw the new Pope? "I didn't know they allowed beer drinkers in the Vatican." And then Jammer jokes for National Lampoon Vacation, European Vacation. Clark Griswold's cousin's friend's brother went to Europe and met Jammer. And Jammer's European Vacation, where the beer flows like the Seine, the river. Yeah, Seine. And then finally, for our AI produced type dad jokes for Jammer, this one's for the Pope. If the Pope did beer reviews, what would be his nicknames that he would use as a beer reviewer? Number 8, the Sudsy Shepherd. Number 7, the Tap Pope. Number 6, the Maltese Messenger. Number 5, the Frothy Father. Number 4, the Beer Bishop, which I put that as mine too, actually. That's pretty good. Let's see. Number 3, the Brew Pontiff. Number 2, Pope of Pints. And number 1, the Holy Hops. There you go. If I had a cue card, I'd throw it. A little card thing or whatever. Yeah, let's see. Oh. So that's about it. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll hear plenty of stories when Jammer gets back about his trip. It'll be fun to listen to. Just those type of trips I mentioned the other day. I would not want to go on a trip like that. We are only 3 days at one place, 3 days at another place, and then 3 days at another place. It's just too much. Like there's no time to soak it all in, you know. If I went to Rome or Italy, I want to be there like for 2 weeks at least. If I take a big trip like that, that's what I want, like a 2-week vacation somewhere, and so I can soak it all in, you know. That's what's bad about most vacations. Well, even a week's vacation and you go to one spot, sometimes that's not enough time to soak it all in. But then again, sometimes after about 3 nights, you're ready to go home, you know. So, yeah. It's a pretty good beer. Summerfest Lager. It is a Czech Bohemian Pilsner style. Pretty good. I don't think I have too much more to talk about. I was going to drink another beer, but man, I just can't think. I worked last night, and I figured it's beer time. 0 beer 30. Drink 1 or 2. Do some drinking and thinking. Probably should have just reviewed a beer, actually, but I don't have any chilled. This will probably do it for me. Spit or swallow beer review. I don't know if this is true. Elderly couple who were gunned down in a veterans cemetery in Delaware last week have been visiting their son's grave at the time. Their heartbroken children have revealed. Paul, 86, and Lydia Marina, 85, from Elkton, Maryland, have been identified as victims of a fatal shooting at Delaware's Veterans Memorial Cemetery in Bear, Delaware, last Friday morning. Lydia was pronounced dead at the scene, while her husband, who was shot in the back of the head, was taken to Christiana Hospital, where he later died that day. Police later discovered that 29-year-old suspect Sheldon C. Francis, dead from a gunshot wound about 6 hours later in a wooded area. I guess maybe he committed suicide. I don't know. It is unknown whether Francis knew his victims, and investigators are yet to release a motive. The slain couple's surviving children, twins, Ray and Paul Jr., 60, are now struggling to come to terms with their parents' senseless murders, which have been called a random act of violence, according to Newark Post. The two revealed their mother and father were at a cemetery that morning as part of their daily ritual of visiting their brother's Anthony's grave. Anthony, the couple's youngest son, was born with cerebral palsy and died from complications in March 2017 at age of 54. Although Anthony did not serve in the military, cemetery rules allowed his father, a peacetime Army veteran in the 50s, to bury one minor child or child with disabilities at the site. So if you're a veteran, even though your child may not be a veteran, you could bury an infant child or a child with disabilities at a veteran's cemetery. So that's nice. The parents have been visiting the burial plot every day ever since he died. It was like a regimen. Mom and Dad visited my brother's grave every single day without fail, unless there was inclement weather. They usually went there in the morning. Ray, the Newark Post on Wednesday. I've been trying to figure it all out in my head, but there are some things we just are never going to know, he added. If that guy was, I'm sure that guy didn't know him. There was an older white couple. It was a young black male who shot him, and then they found him dead in the woods from a gunshot wound, obviously self-inflicted. If he was robbing them, unless the only thing I could think of is that plan wasn't going to go to kill anybody. It was just they refused to give him money, maybe, and so he shot both of them. And then he felt so bad afterwards, he shot himself. That's, really like he didn't go there to shoot anybody. He just was going to go there to rob somebody, not knowing when he was caught up in the moment, he might have shot him. That's my quick, educated theory right there. That's the only thing I can think of. Because they said not knowing if they known him, unless they were swingers, and the old. I shouldn't have said that, but you never know, right? That might have been the lover of the wife, and then they cut it off or something. That could be another thing. They had the three-way thing going on with this young man, and they cut it off, and he got upset and confronted them, and that's another theory. But I'm going to say that he was that theory. That's my second theory, though. But I'll go with the first theory that he was going to rob them, and they wouldn't give money or something, so he shot both of them. And he didn't go there with the mindset that he was going to shoot somebody that day. It overwhelmed him afterwards. He went to the woods and offed himself. That's going to be my theory. You heard it here, right here first. But the second theory could be true also. I might do one more drinking and thinking video. Why not, right? I just got to find some topics to talk about. After a hard night's work, it's just hard to think of stuff sporadically. But that's what I just did right there, was read an article online thanks to the Hodge twins. That was on their Facebook page. Yeah. All right. Well, Shag Dog, Spit or Swallow Beer Review. We'll see you in the next one. I got to give my mother a call. She misses me. Her and my father are traveling right now out of state, and she's texting me. So she obviously misses me. So I'm going to give her a little call or something before I start the next one. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.